Hi, I'm Marci Shimoff, and welcome to our happiness community and this week's video blog. So I bet you've heard the phrase, "'Tis the season to be jolly," right? Well, from what I can see, for many people, 'tis the season to feel insane. Do the holidays have a way of making you feel just a little bit crazy, or just a wee bit stressed out, or maybe even a little down or blue? If that's the case, first of all, know that you are not alone. The holiday season has been known to be the season of the year when the rates of depression are the highest. And there are some reasons for this, and I'll share those with you. But first, I want to just tell you a quick story about what happened to me during my last holiday season last year. It was the first year that I was going into the holiday season. I wasn't in a relationship. My parents had passed away, and I didn't really have any close family around, and I was feeling kind of alone. But I arranged to go to dinner with some friends, and that was going to be great. I was going to have a great holiday dinner. We were going to celebrate Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, the whole holiday trio together. And about a week before the dinner, I was uninvited. Now, I wasn't uninvited. It wasn't personal, but it was something that had to do with this person's family. And yet it left me feeling really alone. And I thought, oh my God, I started going kind of into this holiday blues, poor me, and feeling like a victim. And I realized that this trajectory was not a good trajectory. So I stopped myself and I made a list of all the people that I would love to spend my holiday dinner with. And I started going down the list and calling them one by one. I called the first person and I said, I'm alone this holiday and I'm wondering if it's convenient if I could spend it with your family. And she was lovely, but she said, well, actually, we've decided to have a family-only holiday dinner. I thought, okay, great. I hung up the phone and I forced myself to call the second person on the list. And that person was lovely, and she said, yes, absolutely, I'm happy to take you in, and you're welcome to come. Now, I did not know most of those people at that dinner. It was her family and some friends that I didn't know, but I was so happy to be included somewhere, and I went to that dinner, and it was one of the most warm, loving, fabulous holidays that I've ever had. And I share that story with you because one of the biggest stressors that we have during the holiday season is feeling alone. And, you can feel alone whether you're surrounded by tons of people or whether you actually are alone. And so one of my antidotes that I recommend is that you make sure that you aren't alone, that you reach out to people, that you surround yourself with some community. And even if that means doing as I did and making a list of the people that could include you in their holiday dinners. If you are surrounded by your family but still feel alone, then what I suggest is rather than focusing on the things about your family members that you dislike or that drive you crazy, and I know we all have those things about family members that drive us crazy, but instead focus on the things that you really appreciate about them. Focus on the things that you love about them, and I'm sure it will make the holidays much more enjoyable for you. Now, the second reason that we get a little crazy over the holidays is because we overconsume. We overeat, we overdrink, we overshop, we over everything. So one little antidote for when you start to find yourself overdoing it is to stop for a moment and just breathe and feel into your heart. The reason we overdo it is that we're trying to feel something inside. Even though it may seem like, well, it's a holiday party and I can have 10 of these hors d'oeuvres, it's really the 10 hors d'oeuvres. The first 5 hors d'oeuvres is because they're delicious, but the other 5 hors d'oeuvres is because we're trying to feel something inside. So stop for a moment and just breathe. And then the third reason that we get really stressed out during the holidays is time. We are stressed for time. We're standing in long lines, we're rushing everywhere, and I wish that I could say, here's a way to add another 3 hours to your day, but I don't know the answer to that. But what I can say is a little counterintuitive, and that is whenever I feel the most pressed for time, I do something a little unusual. I take time for myself. And when I take time for myself, then somehow the rest of the day flows better. I usually do that first thing in the morning, taking time for myself. And it centers me enough for the rest of the day that it doesn't end up being as crazy. So the holidays are, a couple weeks away. We're really in the thick of this season. And my wish for you is that rather than this being the season of insanity, that for you it is the season to be jolly. And I send you my love and happiness. And I'll be sharing with you next week a fabulous holiday story. Get your Kleenex ready because it's a tearjerker. Happy holidays.